roses are red, violets are blue, and vaccines are split into two. Well, four actually. But we'll only be discussing two today. Plus, it rhymes, so just bear with us here. Anyway, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Ask anyone familiar with vaccinations and they'll likely be able to recognize the big three of COVID-19 vaccines in the mainstream media. These vaccines are also known as mRNA vaccines. So, how do these mRNA vaccines work exactly? Well, let me explain. Now, imagine your immune system as a dictionary. Every time a disease enters your body, it would scour this dictionary in order to identify and examine said disease, such as its description and whether or not it should absorb or attack it. However, if the disease is not in the dictionary, it would take a long time for them to provide countermeasures. And by the time all of this is done, the disease would have caused permanent damage to the patient's body. Alright, so what the mRNA vaccine does is that it extracts RNA from the COVID-19 virus that specifically code for its protein spike, after which the modified RNA will be injected into our body and will make their way into the human cell. The human cell would then read the RNA and produce the COVID-19 spike protein, in which our immune systems would then detect this spike protein as a foreign invader, otherwise known as an antigen, and would proceed to identify, eliminate, and most importantly, record this type of disease into their dictionary, so that future infection would have a much more faster and efficient response rate. However, today we are here to shed some light on a newer, lesser-known vaccine for COVID-19, which is the Novovax or the protein-based vaccine. Unlike mRNA, Novovax works by cutting out the middleman, which in this case is the RNA, and substitute it with the direct injection of the protein spike, after which the usual immune system response of identifying, eliminating, and recording would occur as normal. There are currently one company manufacturing a protein-based vaccine for COVID-19. This company is, you guessed it, called Novovax, and they manufacture their vaccines by using mod cells. So first they would select the desired genes that would help manufacture the spike proteins, then they would put these genes into a baculovirus, which is basically some type of insect virus. After which the baculovirus would infect the mod and replicate inside them, creating lots of our spiky protein friends, in which finally researchers would extract and purify the spike proteins, manufacturing them into the Novavax vaccines. So what are the different advantages or disadvantages of protein-based vaccines over mRNA vaccines? Well, let's look at the advantages first, shall we? Protein-based vaccines are inherently very cheap to mass produce, and they could be easily stored, having an impressive record of lasting 7 days in room temperature. Unlike their more fragile cousins, which require temperatures colder than Antarctica, negative 70 degrees Celsius, in order for them to be kept at functional conditions. So, Novavax seems to be the gold solution to better COVID vaccines. So why haven't many heard of it yet, and why isn't it as popular as its benefit urged it to be? Well, this is where its disadvantage takes place. Protein-based vaccines have been around for a long time. For example, it's used for hepatitis B and pertussis. For COVID-19, however, it's a relatively new type of vaccine. Moreover, in order for things to be popularized, the media must shine light on it, since media takes a huge role in educating people worldwide right now. Given the current global conflict, the world is rightfully focusing on what's more important. However, in the future, when everything is settled, we can expect the concept and use of protein-based vaccines to skyrocket and be much more popular in the current world.